Welcome to the Global WarWatch Network. Today we're diving into something truly significant, a story unfolding that's really reshaping things in terms of, well, geopolitics and defense.
Absolutely. It's not just about military hardware, is it? It's this huge undertaking.
Exactly. It ties together national security, this big push for industrial self-reliance, and, some really cutting-edge aerospace tech. We're focusing on India's massive effort. And frankly, it seems absolutely necessary to modernize its Air Force fast.
It's a colossal effort, and it definitely has global ripples.
And the trigger for our discussion today, the real headline grabber, is this enormous new contract.
Yeah, enormous is the right word. We're talking about a deal potentially worth 67,000 crore. Now that's roughly what, 8.02 billion US dollars?
About that, yeah, $8.02 billion, and it's specifically for their indigenous Tejas MK-1A fighter jets.
And it's crucial to understand this isn't just India going shopping for planes. It's a really deep strategic move.
It really is. It has huge implications, not just for their own combat readiness right now, but also for, regional stability and how India positions itself globally.
It says a lot about their long-term vision.
So our goal here is to really get into the details of this deal. What does it actually mean for India's ability to fight? How does it boost their own defense manufacturing?
And importantly, what are the challenges? Because let's be honest, this kind of aggressive modernization always comes with hurdles.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the urgency behind it all is palpable. It's being driven by immediate, real-world security needs, operational gaps they need to fill, and the whole geopolitical situation.
The stakes are incredibly high. This is a major bet on their future capabilities.
Okay, so let's start with the deal itself, the size and the significance. The Indian government is right at the final stages of locking down this contract with Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, or HAL.
That's right, for 97 more Tejas MK-1As. That's the number. And like you said, it's about 67,000 crore, so just over $8 billion.
And what really puts this into perspective, I think, for you listening, is that this isn't the first big buy.
No, exactly. This is actually the second major order for this specific MK-1A variant. There was a previous contract signed back in February 2021.
That one was for 83 aircraft, wasn't it?
Correct. And that was valued at 48,000 crore, which is roughly $5.75 billion USD.
So putting these together, it shows a really sustained commitment, doesn't it? It's not a flash in the pan.
Absolutely. It demonstrates this unwavering, long-term strategic focus. It's not just buying planes, it's investing heavily, consistently in their own homegrown platform.
It really signals this strong push towards self-reliance and air power if you add those two contracts up.
You're looking at well over 13 billion US dollars just for this one fighter program channeled into their domestic industry. That's a massive vote of confidence in HAL and the Indian defense base.
So why the rush? What's the core need driving this huge investment right now?
Well, it comes down to a pretty stark reality the Indian Air Force, the IAF, has been grappling with for a while now. They urgently need more fighter squadrons.
Right. They're significantly below their authorized strength, aren't they?
They are. Currently, they operate around 30 squadrons, but their sanctioned or authorized strength is closer to 42, maybe 42 and a half squadrons.
That's a big gap,
Yeah.
over 12 squadrons short.
It's a critical deficit. And it's not just numbers on a spreadsheet. It directly impacts their ability to cover their borders, project power, and maintain national security. It's a genuine strategic vulnerability.
So how does the TJs fit into bridging that gap?
Well, these indigenous jets are key to the solution. They're not just adding numbers. They're specifically designed to replace older, aging aircraft in the fleet.
Like the MiG-21s.
Exactly. The MiG-21s are probably the most prominent example. They've been workhorses for decades, served India incredibly well, but, they're fundamentally dated technology now.
So it's about swapping out Cold War-era platforms for something modern, something built in India.
Precisely. It's about replacing legacy systems with cutting-edge tech to ensure they maintain a combat edge against threats today and, importantly, threats tomorrow. It's a fundamental capability upgrade.
So the why now is driven by this need for modern capability as much as raw numbers, considering the regional security picture.
Absolutely. It's a very clear-eyed look at the evolving threats and the dynamic security environment in the region. This huge investment in Tejas isn't just about buying jets. It's a core part of their readiness strategy right now and for the future.
It seems aggressive, but you can see the justification, given the operational needs.
Definitely. When you look at the broader geopolitical context, these investments are a direct response to the challenges India faces. Air superiority, a modern fleet, projecting defensive power. These are non-negotiable for them. They're building for today and tomorrow.
Okay, let's talk about the aircraft itself, the Tejas MK-1A, because it really does showcase India's growing engineering capabilities, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This isn't just a minor update. The MK-1A is a significantly advanced version of the original TJ's MK-1. It's packed with key improvements.
What are the standouts? What makes it so much better?
Well, the big one, the real game changer, is the active electronically scanned array radar, the AESA radar.
Okay, AESA radar. For those of us not deeply into military tech, what does that actually mean for the pilot?
Right. So think of older radars like a mechanical dish sweeping back and forth like a spotlight. An ESA radar is different. It uses thousands of tiny modules that can electronically steer multiple beams almost instantly.
So much faster and more flexible.
Exactly. For the pilot, this means hugely better situational awareness. They can track many targets at once, engage some while still scanning, and it's much harder for enemies to jam. It's a massive leap in sensor capability.
It sounds like it gives the pilot a much clearer picture of the battlefield.
A vastly clearer picture, yes. It provides information superiority, like seeing the whole chessboard, not just one piece.
Okay, so better eyes. What else is packed into the MK-1A?
Alongside the ESA, it has significantly enhanced electronic warfare systems, EW systems.
And those are crucial for survival, right?
Yeah.
Especially in dangerous airspace.
Absolutely critical. These EW systems help the aircraft detect threats, jam enemy radars, decoy incoming missiles, basically make itself much harder to target and shoot down.
Like an electronic shield.
That's a good way to put it. It dramatically increases the aircraft's chances of getting the mission done and coming home safe, even when things get really hot. It's about denying the enemy a clean shot.
Makes sense. And then there's the weapons. It has beyond visual range missile capability, BVR.
Yes, BVR capability, and that's another major advantage.
Explain that a bit. What does beyond visual range mean in a real dogfight scenario?
It means the pilot can engage and destroy enemy aircraft from distances far beyond where they can actually see them. Often you can fire before the enemy even knows you're there, or before they're close enough to shoot back.
So first shot, first kill potential.
Exactly. That's often decisive in modern air combat. So you put it all together, the advanced AESA radar for detection and tracking, the sophisticated EW suite for defense, and the potent BVR missiles for offense.
And you get a very capable modern fighter.
You really do. The MK-1A becomes a truly modern, multi-role platform. It's a testament to India's progress in integrating complex indigenous technologies. It makes the TDAs a serious player.
It's genuinely impressive. Now, to actually build all these advanced jets, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, they've had to seriously scale up their operations, haven't
Yeah, definitely. Meeting these demanding delivery schedules requires a major boost in production capacity.
they? And they've done that by setting up a new production line.
Yes, they've established a completely new line in Nashik. This is in addition to their existing main facility in Bangalore.
So 2 lines running now.
Essentially, yes. And this expansion is absolutely vital. HAL is aiming to ramp up their annual production rate from the current 16 jets per year up to 24.
That's a 50% increase, a big jump.
It's a substantial increase, and it shows a real commitment to meeting the IAF's urgent needs. But it also highlights the sheer industrial challenge, coordinating supply chains, investing in tooling and facilities, training skilled workers. It's a massive undertaking.
A huge logistical and manufacturing effort.
It really is. It showcases what their domestic industry is now capable of achieving.
Okay, but we need to be balanced here. While the vision is ambitious and the progress is clear, this program hasn't been without its problems, specifically delays.
No, that's true. Like many complex defense projects worldwide, the TJ's program has faced some significant delays, and we need to talk about those honestly.
What are the main bottlenecks causing these delays?
Well, one of the most significant issues recently has been a delay in getting the engines, specifically the F404 engines supplied by GE Aerospace from the U.S.
How long was that delay?
Reports indicate around a 10-month delay in engine supply. And these engines are absolutely critical. They're the heart of the aircraft. Without them, you can't finish building the jets.
So that directly impacts the production line.
Directly. And it's not just the engines. There have also been delays related to certifying some of the new advanced systems integrated onto the MK-1A.
Right. Integrating and testing cutting-edge tech always takes time, and sometimes longer than planned.
Exactly. It's a complex process ensuring everything works together safely and effectively, but these delays add up.
What's the real-world impact on delivery schedules?
Well, take the first aircraft from that earlier order, the one for 83 jets. It was supposed to be delivered by March 31st, 2024.
Okay.
But because of these cumulative delays, the delivery is now expected around November 2024.
So a delay of about 7 or 8 months for the very first plane of that batch.
Correct. And these aren't just minor slips. They push back the whole timeline, impacting the IAF's planning and when they can actually stand up new squadrons.
And this is where we need to stress the urgency. The IAF itself is concerned about this, right? They've been quite vocal.
They have indeed. The Indian Air Force has explicitly voiced its concerns about these delays, and understandably so.
Because every delayed jet means that capability gap, that squadron deficit we talked about, stays open for longer.
Precisely. The IAF keeps emphasizing the absolute need for timely deliveries to maintain their combat readiness. It's not just an inconvenience, it directly impacts national security preparedness.
So these delays aren't just numbers. They have potentially serious strategic consequences.
They absolutely do. In today's security environment, predictable delivery schedules for critical assets like fighter jets are paramount. Delays constrain existing resources and potentially create vulnerabilities.
It highlights that tough balance between pushing indigenous development and meeting immediate operational needs.
It's a constant tension in major defense programs.
Okay, but the TJ's deal, even though it's huge, is just one part of a much bigger picture, isn't it? India's modernizing its air force across the board.
That's a really important point. This isn't happening in isolation. It's part of a wider, comprehensive strategy to upgrade India's entire aerial defense setup.
What other elements are part of this strategy?
Well, for instance, they're actively pursuing new mid-air refueling aircraft.
Tankers.
The force multiplier.
Exactly. These might not grab headlines like fighters, but they are incredibly important. Techno-commercial bids are expected soon, with big players from Europe, Russia, Israel likely competing.
Why are tankers so crucial for an air force like India's with its large area of responsibility?
They fundamentally changed the game. Mid-air refueling dramatically extends the range and endurance of fighter jets.
So planes can stay airborne longer, fly further.
Much longer and much further. Imagine fighter patrols over the vast Indian Ocean, or deep strike missions, or long surveillance flights along borders. Tankers make all of that far more feasible and effective. They allow aircraft to operate far from their home bases for extended periods.
Giving them much greater strategic reach and flexibility.
Immense strategic flexibility, yes. They effectively turn tactical assets into strategic ones.
Okay, what else besides tankers?
Another key area is airborne early warning and control systems, AEW&C, the flying command posts.
Right, the eyes in the sky. Exactly. There's expected approval soon for building 6 new AEW&C systems based on the Airbus A321 platform.
Why are these so vital?
These aircraft are essential for comprehensive air surveillance and command and control. They carry powerful radars that can detect aircraft, missiles, drones far beyond ground radar range.
And they manage the air battle.
Yes, they provide a real-time 360-degree picture of the airspace, identify threats, and coordinate friendly fighters, directing intercepts and managing the overall air operation. They're indispensable for achieving air superiority in modern warfare.
So when you put it all together, the huge TJ's orders, the pursuit of tankers, the new AEW&C systems, it paints a picture of a really holistic effort.
It absolutely does. It's a multifaceted strategy showing a clear vision for modernizing every critical aspect of their air defense infrastructure. It's not just about fighters, it's about the entire ecosystem.
This really shows that long-term strategic planning in action.
It's impressive. Each piece complements the others, creating a layered, robust defense capability designed for current and future challenges.
And underpinning all of this, kind of the philosophical driver, is this concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India.
Yes, that's absolutely central to the entire narrative. This huge push for indigenous aircraft like the Tejas aligns perfectly with that Atmanirbhar Bharat's initiative.
It's more than just a slogan then, it's a core strategic goal.
Oh, completely. It's about national sovereignty. Developing and building critical defense equipment domestically reduces reliance on foreign suppliers.
Which is crucial in uncertain geopolitical times, right? Supplies could be cut off.
Exactly. It's a strategic hedge, it builds resilience, and ensures India isn't overly dependent on others for its own security. It's real strategic foresight.
And this focus on self-reliance, it's having a big impact on India's own industry, too.
A massive impact. We're seeing widespread involvement from over 500 micro, small, and medium enterprises, MSMEs, across India, plus larger private sector companies.
So it's not just the big state-owned firms like HAL.
No, it's much broader now. This is driving job creation, transferring technology, and building up a really diverse domestic industrial base. It's an economic boost as much as a defense project.
That sounds like a significant shift involving the private sector much more.
It is. For decades, Indian defense manufacturing was dominated by public sector undertakings. Now we're seeing a deliberate effort to bring in the private sector, fostering competition, innovation, and efficiency. It's transforming the landscape.
Creating a more dynamic defense ecosystem.
Precisely. Leveraging the strengths of both public and private sectors. It's a mature approach.
And this effort, particularly with the Tejas, it's also laying the groundwork for what comes next, isn't it? For future aircraft programs.
Absolutely. The experience, the skills, the supply chains, the technologies developed for Tejas MK-1A directly feed into India's next big indigenous fighter project, the AMCA.
The Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft, that's their fifth-generation stealth fighter project, right?
Correct. AMCA is hugely ambitious, a fifth-gen stealth fighter, and all the lessons learned from Tejas, the industrial base built up, the expertise in avionics materials, systems integration, it's all crucial for accelerating AMCA development.
So Tejas is almost like a stepping stone to something even more advanced.
In many ways, yes, AMCA is being fast-tracked, with both public and private sectors heavily involved. It shows India's commitment to staying at the cutting edge of military aviation tech, preparing for the future threats.
It really demonstrates that long-term vision and technological ambition, quite commendable.
It's an extraordinary undertaking, looking decades ahead.
Okay, so let's try and pull all these threads together. The core message seems to be that this massive new Tejas MK-1A deal, that 67,000 crore, $8 billion plus contract for 97 jets, it's more than just a big purchase.
Much more. It's a pivotal move by India to seriously boost the IAF's fighter strength using their own domestically produced aircraft.
And even with the challenges like those engine delays we discussed.
Right. Even acknowledging those hurdles, this acquisition is fundamental to India's strategy.
It's about boosting air power, ensuring readiness, and critically, achieving that goal of defense self-sufficiency, especially given the regional security dynamics.
Exactly. It's a massive investment in their future security and their place in the world.
Which leads us to a final thought, something for you, our listeners, to chew on. We've talked about the strategic urgency needing those squadrons and the complexities of building these advanced jets at home, the delays, the supply chains.
That constant tension.
Right. So considering all that, what do you think is the single most critical factor for India to really nail this huge modernization effort? Is it sorting out those supply chains? Is it pumping even more into R&D? Is it just scaling up manufacturing faster? Or maybe something else entirely, like talent retention?
That's a fascinating question. What's the linchpin for success here? Many potential answers.
We genuinely love to hear your perspectives on that. Thank you for tuning in to the Global WarWatch Network. If you found this conversation useful, please do like, share, and subscribe. And definitely share your thoughts on that last question or anything else in the comments section below. We do read them. Plus, join our community on social media. You'll find all the links in the description.
Thank you for tuning in to the Global WarWatch Network.